Hi, I'm Ella, a salon owner, a fully booked hairstylist, and a girly in her 30s. A couple months ago, I had the pleasure of doing a brand shoot. I wanted to really showcase my capabilities and what I'm able to produce with 15 years in the hair industry. And I sat down to do an interview about it. I have so much insight on this. It's so amazing for your professional development. So if you're considering doing a brand shoot and you want to see everything that goes into it, this video is for you. Keep watching.
So Ella, why did you do a brand shoot?
There's a lot of reasons. Number one being I really wanted to showcase that I am a blonde and extension specialist. I did want to show my bleaching skills. So I did choose to do the girls all in platinum blonde because I truly do believe that does take the most skill. Lots of stylists aren't confident to do platinum blonde or they're not trained to do platinum. It is, I'd say, the service that has the most risk involved. I'm very confident at doing platinum. I think it looks so fire. It can suit anybody. That was super important to me, is to have all three models in a different tone. First girl, Carly, I really wanted her to have like kind of that icy, bright but very cool tone, snow white blonde, and it looked phenomenal. It couldn't have turned out better. For Jill, I was thinking kind of like mod, Twiggy inspired, not too cool, not too warm, just like very, very bright. And she wears a bob, and with her style, it was just beyond chic. And for Amy, everyone tells her she looks like Anya Taylor-Joy. I wanted her to have like that California blonde. I did make her root level a touch darker, really, really golden. It looks beautiful on her. And when you see the three girls together, you can really see the distinction and the difference of tones. I'm also an extension specialist. I'm someone who just either loves super short hair or insanely long hair. I do extensions for all reasons. Sometimes it's for volume, sometimes it's to create more movement. Even in Jill with her bob, just thickening it up, her hair is on the finer side. I love extensions. They really did make the photo shoot come together.
So how did you pick your models?
Ooh, that's a good question. When I decided I wanted to do this, it was almost 3 months ago, and I had to really start thinking about the right girls that were going to showcase my brand and showcase my skill. It kind of all came together naturally, but me at heart, I'm a planner. I picked my first model, who actually was a bartender. I was out with my boyfriend and I saw this girl behind the bar. She was so cute. And she had blonde hair. I could tell it needed to be done. I could kind of tell she was on some sort of journey to get blonder. I just knew. I have that eye. So I approached her and I was like, hey, like, I'm a salon owner and blonde specialist. Have you ever thought about going platinum? I kind of started talking to her more about who I was and what business I owned and like my vision for the shoot. And then she got super interested because it's free hair, free blonde, free extensions. So there was my first model. I then wanted to showcase that I could do bleaching skills on not only natural blondes. I did not want just like three white girls where it's easier to make their hair blonde. So I actually worked with this model slash influencer a few months back with Philocally, who is the extension company that I educate for and create content for. We did a huge photo shoot where they hired professional models, and I met this girl, Carly. She was absolutely like the most photogenic, confident model I've ever seen. She's also an influencer and I love all the stuff she makes. Like, I've been following her since I met her at the shoot. Her content is so positive. It makes me personally feel good about myself. I just took a long shot and I DM'd her. I'm like, is your hair virgin? Because if she's been coloring it brown, it's really not going to be possible. But she did tell me her hair was virgin. So I asked if she'd be interested in this. And she said she's always wanted to try going blonde. She never dyed her hair as a child. So got her in for a strand test just to make sure we were good to go. Locked her in. I had my second model. I think I was just at work one day doing one of my regular clients who I've been doing for probably 8 years. And then I thought about Jill, who always just has more of like a natural lived in balayage on a bob. She has super, super good style. I did her wedding hair in the summer and I saw she had her makeup done. I saw the photos. I'm like, wow, she also photographs beautifully. And I'm like, that would just be such a good contrast with my other two girls. So I asked her if she'd be interested. I truly believe that timing for me and everything always works out perfectly because she was actually going to Japan the day after the shoot. And she was like, that'd be so fun to do for Japan. We've talked about doing platinum for so long, but we've never actually done it. I had like a regular client that I was comfortable with. I had like a professional model kind of influencer type vibe. And then I just had like some girl I approached at the bar, which I love because I always tell baby stylists or even anyone who's looking to grow their clientele that approaching people in real life is honestly how you like grow and get long-term clients and get the content you want. You see a girl with the hair that you know you want to do, that you think is your vibe, your brand, and you give them a good experience. They come back and they refer their friends that are similar to them. So I love like how I got my models and I love the variation between the three of them. I'm like so happy with it.
Where do you find inspiration for a shoot like this?
I find inspiration in a lot of places, and it's not only me. I rely heavily on collaboration. I actually work almost full time with a content creator, Molly, and she print screens everything she sees that she thinks I would like or that's my brand, and we're in constant communication about it. I love using an online Vogue subscription. It's only $1 a month, and you have access to all the Vogue runways. I think that's such an amazing resource to have. I love scrolling through that. Definitely get a lot of my inspo from there and then get other people's opinions. I even met up with my makeup artist. He's a good friend of mine because he does a lot of shoots like this. And, you know, he told me some of my ideas maybe weren't the best. He gave me some new ideas. I think of something, I sleep on it. Tell me if it's a bad idea. It's not going to hurt my feelings.
What was the hardest part about this shoot?
I guess the model prep and the toll it just took on me. I'm no stranger to working long days behind the chair, but the added pressure of making sure that the girl's hair was perfect, it was not fried. All of their tones looked distinctly different, and it ended up being a lot. Starting to just say some prayers that all of this works out and everyone's hair is 10 out of 10. The shoot was on a Wednesday. I had model prep Monday and Tuesday. I had one model Monday, two models Tuesday. So automatically I'm like, Tuesday's the worst day. Actually, Monday was the worst day. I go into work and it's a quiet day at the salon. It's just me and one other coworker. I have my model, never done her hair before. She's been on a journey from black dye to get back to blonde. So, you know, it's fragile. I'm not too worried about it. It's pretty long considering what she's been through. Most times when I do platinum, I try to apply the color so I do the roots last. So it's sitting on their scalp the least so it doesn't irritate their head. I do use a very gentle lightener. I had to put it on her roots and I also had to deal with like the dimension in her mids. So I'm like, you know, I'll just put it on her roots super quick. Her hair is fine. And then I will work the mids and it will just process all at once. Once I started applying her mids, it was just a way longer application than I thought. Basically, the bleach just sat on a little longer than I would have loved. I ask a million times. I'm so concerned about people's comfort. You know, I just had my head bleached and it freaking hurt. I haven't had bleach on scalp ever. Every time I've gone blonde in the past, it's been foils. And I was like, this is what I do to people. You know, there's certain clients that say it stings, it hurts, and there's some that say it doesn't, especially if they've done it a lot. So I ask her a million times. She says, oh no, it's good, it's good. I'm rinsing her color and I'm like, her scalp looks a little red. Then I'm putting the extensions in and I can tell she's a little uncomfortable even though I'm super gentle. And she just said the top part of her head felt tender. And only because I asked, she didn't complain about it. She was so thrilled with her color and her extensions. But when people are uncomfortable and they're tired and they just sat for 7 hours and they didn't eat, like their mood and their energy changes. And I know this, but because she told me her scalp felt tender, I got the worst imposter syndrome. And I talk a lot about overcoming imposter syndrome to my staff all the time. Like, I don't want stylists to experience unnecessary imposter syndrome because it can ruin your life for no reason, but it still happens to the best of us. I like broke down. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a bad hairstylist. You know, I'm not lazy, especially when it comes to the shoot. Like, I retoned her roots because I wasn't happy with the first toner, even though she was. I redid it. I'm like, we're going to take the time. I wasn't trying to be lazy. It was literally just like platinum hair. There's so many different ways to apply depending on their starting point. I was like, I should have done it in 2 steps. Like, I should have avoided her scalp. She's going to text me saying her skin broke open and it's bleeding. That doesn't happen, but you never know. Like, if you actually read the labels on bleach, it will say not recommended for scalp use sometimes, depending on the lightener. And like, if client experiences this, and that in the next few days, meaning it can happen after, seek medical attention regularly. I'm reading this because I like want to make myself feel worse, I'm like looking at TikToks of like bleaching going wrong. I was literally checking my DMs every 2 seconds, being like, she's gonna complain, I hurt her head, and she was totally fine. Like, even when I woke up the next day, I was like, okay, that was a little bit much. Next day, I have the 2 models. Day 2 of getting all my models ready for the photo shoot. I have so much to do, and of course I'm breaking out because I feel like I'm stressed. I just want all the girls' hair to look perfect. Thank God I was in a better mental state because that was so long. I had to do Carly's platinum, sew in her extensions. Then my client with the bob came in, and you know, Carly and her hair, I had to bleach their ends twice to get it platinum. It's not just like throw on the bleach, it's done in 20 minutes, like a solid color. I was at the salon for 14 hours. I didn't sit. I ate like half of a meal standing up while I was hanging up my second client's coat. You are on those clients all day, checking their bleach, rinsing it, reapplying. It's nuts. Just finished day 2 of getting the models ready for tomorrow. It's 10 p.m. I officially just worked a 14-hour day. And I think a lot of bigger name hairstylists typically work with assistants when they do stuff like this. I don't have an assistant. I wanted to show that I could do it on my own, and I did. And at the end of the day, I was so happy with all my models. Even though I was physically exhausted, mentally I was getting excited. Morning of the photo shoot, I'm exhausted, but it's gonna be good.
So, in the end, was it all worth it?
Definitely. It blew my expectations, and I think content-wise, I got more than I could have dreamed of. I inspired myself. That was fucking crazy, but so worth it. I'm over the moon. I can't wait for all the content. If you are in the hair industry or the beauty industry or the fashion industry or anything to do with like yourself as your brand, I highly recommend investing in doing a brand shoot. You will not regret it. I want to do it once a year, and I cannot wait for you guys to see everything.